Today, we're going to talk about how to create a healthy shopping list when you go to the market and perhaps even stay on a budget.
And it's important because when people go to the grocery store, they get all freaked out. We were talking to, our director, producer Stevie just a moment ago, and you hear all these commercials about how the grocery store is so you can't even go there anymore because there's so many chemicals around. But you can. You just got to have some little tidbits that we're going to give you today. So I think first thing number one on our to-do list is to make a list, right? You got to go in there with a plan, have a plan. And the plan has to really keep you on the perimeter as best as possible. So plan to stay on the perimeter with your list, first
Well,
thing.
and why would we stay on the perimeter? Oftentimes, the things that bring the most health or have the most nutrients are on the perimeter. You always find the fruits, you always find the vegetables, you always find the meats around the perimeter. Even the eggs are around the perimeter. The
Yep.
minute you start walking in between the aisles, now you're starting to get into the things that are boxed, the things that are packaged, the things that are processed, and the things that if you turn the label over, you can't even understand
Hmm.
the ingredients that you're putting in your cart.
So line your list with things from the perimeter. Think things that are refrigerated, that are in the produce section are probably going to be things that are more healthy. And that's true. It really is. Now, don't get all hung up, if you will, in inorganic. Here's a general rule of thumb. The thicker the skin of what you're buying, the less need to buy organic. Not saying organics is good if you can do it. But the thicker the skin, like an avocado, it's less important organic over, say, an apple, because the thinner the skin sort of is a lack of a barrier, right? So stay on the perimeter and make a list. Now, keeping in mind that the higher nutrient value or the more nutrients we bring in, the density, is going to make you full faster as opposed to high calorie, low nutrient foods that are on the inner part of that grocery store. So if we can think about this, we would actually eat less per capita, higher nutrients, better satiety or feeling, and less hunger as opposed to the center. So don't set yourself up to think that it's going to be more expensive to eat like that, because it's really not.
It's not. And it takes more energy to burn green vegetables than there are calories in them. So if you take the time to chew the broccoli, you're going to get full quicker. Plus, it takes more energy to break that broccoli down and burn that broccoli than something that is processed like a Dorito or a chip.
Yeah, and one thing about going to a grocery store to shop, when you do this, when you make your list, stay with your list. Think about it. Stay with your list. Don't get distracted. If you go in there and you're going to say, I'm going to buy some avocados. I want to buy 3 avocados, 2 apples, 3 bananas, a pound of organic grass-fed meat, a dozen eggs. That's what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy that. Then I'm going to buy myself a sack full of some spinach. That's on your list. Go in there, buy that thing, don't get distracted, and leave.
You've always done that. I have a tendency to get distracted with
Well,
shiny things. So I'm taking good lessons from you.
well, the shiny things are on the end caps that say, "Here's your ho-hos and ding-dongs. Buy 2, get 3 free." And I think it should say, "Buy 2 and get larger free." I don't know. It's a sad thing. Stay away from the end caps, man. Those are the danger zones.
You said something that's really important. Have a plan. Those that don't plan are planning to fail.
That's right.
So if you do not want to fail, have a plan.
Yeah.
Create the list, go in with the list, and stick to the list.
Yeah.
And you'll not only have a healthier lifestyle because you've planned, but if you plan that list, you'll stay on your budget.
Well, totally. I remember years ago, and this is true before we even met, I did go to the grocery store with a list. I really did. It was a flip pad that I would make, and I had a little pin attached to it. And I would go there and I'd have my grocery basket and I'd push it down there and I'd put that in there and I'd check it off the list. And I kept that list. And when the list was checked off, I'm going straight to the checkout stand. I didn't waver. I stayed with my plan. But it was really about budget. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Some people, if you have X dollars to spend, don't spend Y dollars. In other words, if you have $100 to spend, don't spend 125. Make your best choices with the $100. And if you'll do our techniques like we talked about, you will find the value will increase. It's not about calories. It's about nutrient density. Nutrient density is on the perimeter. The anti-nutrients, the non-nutritious foods, the high caloric foods are on the inside. Don't fall for the trap that says we need more calories to survive. That has nothing to do with it. And I think plan on, this is another thing people should know, plan on going to the grocery store more often, because that's important. And another thing you could do is if you have like a deep freeze, you could actually connect with a local farmer perhaps and maybe get a quarter of beef or something like that, or a quarter lamb or something that you might want to put in your freezer there.
Also now, like some of the grocery stores have quick pickup.
Yeah.
So you can order online and pick it up. That will prevent you from getting away from the perimeter because you get it ordered and you pick it up.
I forgot about that. That's great. So order the groceries, make your list, order them, and they'll bring them out to you. Now, the only detriment to that is they're picking out your avocados and you're not. So
That's
you
true.
might get the
That's true.
ones that are not any good or not really ripe yet.
Yeah.
But honestly, learn to navigate that and kind of make your shopping trip at your grocery store kind of fun.
Yeah, so you're telling me now that when I send you to the grocery store for eggs and some bison and you come home with just the eggs and bison, I shouldn't say, that's it?
No, you should say, well done, good and faithful servant. The bottom line is, honestly, here's the thing, right? Have a plan, stick to it, make the plan well thought out, and your plan will bring fruition of good health to your life. And that's what we got to try to do. So, folks, planning like this, sometimes you got to have a team around you to help you form plans. The Bible says to seek wise counsel in forming a plan. So maybe we can be your wise counsel. So reach out to us at Sherwood.tv or give us a call at our clinic, and we can help you wherever you are in the world. So we look forward to being a blessing and a servant to you in making a good plan for your shopping trip to the grocery store.
And when you navigate through these economies with people, here's what happens. We want to hold their hand through it, let them know when it's time to buy, sell, reallocate, get out of Dodge. Because a lot of times when you're struck with fear does two things. Number one, it can paralyze, and people just put their head in the sand and say, I'm just going to forget about it and hopefully it gets better. Or it causes you to make a wrong decision. And this is why we are here, is to help people navigate through the political quagmire nonsense that's going on, the economic malaise, and the absolute collapse that we're seeing. And when our freedoms are eroding, our political freedoms, our economic freedoms, our personal freedoms, our religious freedoms, our health freedoms, they're all tied together. But you know what doesn't need to erode with that? Our finances.
KirkElliottPhD.com/Sherwood.
Exploring biohacking, bioharmonizing, biosynergizing, stacking, resilience, or anti-fragility.
Start here. No gimmicks, just proven results.
Hey there, Kevin Sorbo here. Now, deep down, we know this. We're more than just a brain and a body. We're a spirit, we're a soul, and we're also a physical temple. If you hit the wall when you're trying to improve one aspect of your being, it's probably because, well, other aspects are sabotaging our success. So that's why diets don't work. And frankly, why so much conventional wisdom from our so-called medical establishments falls flat. Doctors Michelle and Mark Sherwood have a very different approach. I should know because I happen to be one of their patients. They address the whole person to get to know you, your challenges, and more importantly, what your goals are. Then they offer a complete plan that addresses your unique biology and your heart. They'll help you discover what you need to experience transformation. So find out more at Sherwood.tv/Sorbo. That's Sherwood.tv/Sorbo, or see the link before. Now I'm heading for a workout. You should be going for a workout too. All right, guys. God bless.
Let's shine the spotlight on one of our star supplements.
The human body can make most of the types of fats it needs from other fats or raw materials, but not omega-3 fatty acids, also called omega-3 fats or N3 fats.
These are essential fats that the body must get from food.
Biomega 1000 provides a potent dose of omega-3 essential fatty acids sourced from a strategically placed fishing facility in the far South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile.
Each capsule delivers an impressive 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, and the capsules also contain vitamin E. See the link below for a special offer, and remember, don't be fooled by cheap online knockoffs.